I have 2 YouTube channels that I film myself, and I'm also coaching my YouTube clients on how they can film themselves too for their respective channels. It's easy to get carried away buying all the latest tech gear that your favorite YouTubers are recommending in hopes that that will blow up your channel, only to see your videos flop one by one. So it's not the gear, it's something else. Just like how these channels blew up and gained hundreds of thousands of subscribers by using very simple and cheap equipment. I myself have invested so much money buying the latest and greatest tech gear that, quite honestly, I've never even used. So in this video, I'm going to be recommending the YouTube gear for beginners, and I'll show you the behind the scenes of all the camera equipment that you see in this video when you're ready to scale your YouTube business. Okay, so let's start with the most common question. What camera should I use to start filming? There's so many models to choose from. I can understand it gets really overwhelming. However, if you're just starting out YouTube, I recommend you this one camera. It's the very camera that you're holding right now or in your pocket, which is your smartphone. And it doesn't even need to be an iPhone. Any smartphone will do. In fact, one of my very first videos 3 years ago was shot on a mid-range Huawei phone with terrible lighting and terrible audio. But that video was answering people's questions, were getting 30,000 views. So remember, the main goal of creating YouTube videos is not to look fancy, but to help solve your target audience's pain points. Looking pretty is secondary or maybe tertiary. So please promise yourself that you will not buy a fancy ass camera until you have at least 5 videos up on your YouTube channel where you filmed it with your phone. Here's the best practice to film yourself with your smartphone. Should you use the back camera or the selfie camera? So the correct answer is the back camera, because this camera has a better sensor, therefore your pictures will be nicer. But if you use the rear camera, the screen will be facing away from you, so you can't frame yourself. If you're using a MacBook, you can launch any photo taking app on your phone, even photo booth, and you can see the live footage on your MacBook and frame yourself if you're supposed to be a little bit on the left or a little bit on the right. The second thing, you don't need any fancy camera app. I only use the native camera app. It's good enough. What resolution should you choose? Honestly, 1080p is good enough. You don't need to shoot 4K. It doesn't really matter. Frame rate. Now, this is a topic by itself, but try and choose a frame rate as close as 24 frames per second as possible. Depending on where you are and on the phone, choose either 24, 25, or 30. What this does is the motion blur will look as natural as it will look to your eye. So a lot of games like to use high frame rate, so it will look too digital and kind of artificial, which is not the look that I'm going for. And finally, this is probably the best one. Before you shoot, always remember to wipe down the lens of your camera. However, if you really insist to upgrade your camera, I 100% recommend getting the camera that I'm using right now, which is called the Sony ZV-1. It's one of the best cameras you can get as a solo creator. The bigger camera with the interchangeable lenses are better, but there's a lot of technicalities that you need to know to master those kind of cameras. So just get this Sony ZV-1. It has a flip out screen so I can see myself. It has superior video quality to my phone. And because it's a better quality camera, I can also take better quality thumbnails as well. Now, the other cool thing is I can make the background blurry with one button. Clear, blurry. And lastly, it's very compact. It's about the same size as your phone. Maybe at some point in my YouTube career, I'm ready to be a little bit more creative. I want to start shooting outdoors. So if I have a big ass camera, one, it will make me really lazy to do it. And two, I might be really self-conscious because everybody's looking at me. Why am I holding this gigantic camera in public? So this Sony ZV-1 cost me around $650 US. I prefer this small camera over any big proper camera any day because of the simplicity. All right, so now we got the camera out of the way. Now you need something to hold the camera. So we're going to be talking about tripods. All right, so I bought so many tripods, but I end up only using 2. So my first tripod is this weirdly named QZSDQ222 tripod from China. It cost me $39. It's pretty sturdy, well built, but it is very bulky. The problem is that when you want to start your YouTube channel, you're probably starting in your small bedroom or your small office. In other words, you don't have a lot of space. So I do not recommend a big bulky tripod as a beginner. Okay, moving on to my second tripod was the Ulanzi MT-44. This is a great little tripod. It's only $20. I think it's the most versatile tripod out there because it can extend waist high and you can use it as a selfie stick as well if that's what you're into. The tripod has a 1/4-inch screw on top, so this can mount any camera, and it also has a built-in smartphone holder, so you don't have to waste any more money buying yet another adapter for that. It's all built in. And lastly, it's somewhat portable. You would still look a little weird carrying this around, in my opinion, and it's also too big to set on top of a table because the legs are big. But considering the overall versatility, it's a well all-round rounder. This is a pretty solid recommendation for beginners. But you know what? After a while, like a true gearhead, I start to get the itch to upgrade my gear. So there was this new tripod called PGY Tech Mantis Pod, and it's a third and final tripod that I got. And one of my favorite YouTubers was reviewing, and I thought it was cool as hell. So I got one. It's specifically for vloggers where you can hold the camera for vlogging and then quickly turn it into a tabletop tripod, which I think is really cool. The other cool thing is it has the Mantis mode. So if you're out and about, you want to hang your camera somewhere on a fence or something like that, you will have a very unique perspective of your footage. It's a decent tripod, but it's expensive at $49. And also the unique selling point in Mantis mode, quite frankly, I've never ever used that mode ever. And it's not that versatile compared to the Ulanzi because you can't adjust the height. So this is strictly a vlogging or a tabletop thing. So I don't recommend the Mantis pod for a beginner. It could be a great second tripod, but not your main one. If you don't know which to pick, just get the Ulanzi MT44. It's cheap, it's $20, and it can pretty much do anything. All right, next, what other gear can you buy to make your audience watch your video till the very end? Now let's talk about microphones. So your audience can tolerate a shitty video footage, but they can't tolerate shitty audio. I'm no sound engineer, but I've bought pretty much almost all types of mics, and there's only a couple that I recommend you to buy, especially as a beginner. And I will also tell you which mic should you get if you just want one mic that can do everything. All right, so let's start with the first one, which is called a shotgun mic. If you plan to do mostly sit-down videos, like this one right here, talking head, you don't really move that much, the shotgun mic makes a lot of sense. It's placed on top of the camera with a fuzzy thing on top. This type of mic picks up most of the audio directly in front of the mic, and it plugs straight into your camera or phone. And most of the shotgun mics, especially the smaller ones, do not run on batteries. It's also cheap. This is a really good brand at $42 US. Pretty good value. The only downside of the shotgun mic is, let's say one of the scenes you're walking around, vlogging yourself, trying to explain something. Then at some point you want to turn the camera around, then you talk while you're showing something. You would see the drop in volume because the mic is facing away from you. Now, I think for most of you, you're doing talking head style videos, so I don't think it will be much of a concern, but it is still worth mentioning of that one flaw. All right, the second one is a condenser mic. Typically, they are USB powered, and the popular ones are the Yeti brands that you place on top of the table. The condenser mic is a very sensitive mic. It picks up everything. It's better suited for recording music in a controlled, treated studio because it will pick up everything. So if you live in a normal house, there's sound of traffic, maybe the baby's crying, the dog's barking, it will pick up all of that, which is why I don't think it's a good option for you. I never had a condenser mic. I wouldn't recommend it. The next one is the dynamic mic, which is this one that you see right here. So it's been very popular since the booming of podcasts and the creator economy. It's a type of mic that you plug in straight into your MacBook. And why people like this type of mic is because it only picks up the voice at a very narrow range, like right here. It rejects everything else. And it also makes your voice a little bit deeper. So it sounds like you're on the radio, which is why a lot of podcasters prefer dynamic mics because it has that signature sound. So I think if you do a lot of talking, it's good because it kind of lowers your voice a little bit. And studies have found if people listen to you talk for a long time and it's low, bassy, people tend to tolerate that more than if you have a high-pitched voice. So I only recommend you getting a dynamic mic if you're somewhat experienced, because this thing is very expensive. This thing is about $200. You need to buy one of these arms or tripod, and it's anchored here because it needs to be plugged into my computer, which means if you want to change seat to sit somewhere else, either you carry this whole thing to that place or you need another mic. So it's not so versatile, this. I don't recommend this for beginners, which leaves us to the last type of mic that I do recommend, which is the wireless mic. This is the most versatile mic that you can get. So the wireless mic is a set of two devices like this. So this is the wireless mic or the transmitter. So the microphone is right there. You clip this underneath your clothes like so, really close to your mouth. So this picks up your voice and it will transmit the signal wirelessly to the receiver here that you plug into your camera or to your phone. Some people don't like that this is a little bit bulky, but a lot of the wireless mic will give you a lavalier mic as well, which is this thing. So you plug this into here, this goes to your belt, and you can thread this inside your t-shirt so it's not too obvious. I love this type of mic. It's called Cinco. It only costs $65. I think it's a pretty good deal. video, and you can be really creative with this type of mic. It's very versatile because you can do a talking head video like how you see right now. So instead of me having this big ass microphone with the arm and everything, I can get rid of all this and just have that one tiny mic here. So it looks a bit more natural, like the audience feel like they're a friend just chit-chatting with you, and that could be the vibe that you're going for. You can also use this type of mic for vlogging. You can place the camera on a tripod and then you can walk far away from the camera and still have your audio very clear. Also, when you're vlogging, the camera's facing you and then you want to point at something, you turn the camera around and it still picks up your voice perfectly because the mic is here. So the last thing, if you shoot like at a cafe, it might pick up your voice a little bit better because it's so close to your mouth. So if you really don't know which type of mic to get, just get the wireless mic. You will not be disappointed, I guarantee it. But have you ever wondered how some videos seem so high quality, just oozes quality? I'll let you in on my little secret, and it's not the camera. So this is my secret little weapon to create amazingly high quality videos and images that will wow your prospects. Seriously. So when you create content with this light, you will look so professional. You will come across as someone who takes marketing very seriously, and therefore you seem a lot more trustworthy in the thing that you're trying to sell. So this is the Godox SL-60W, and the entire kit here with the tripod and the softbox cost me about $179. It's a little expensive, but it's 100% worth it. So it's this giant LED light attached to this umbrella looking thingy called a softbox. The whole point of the softbox is to diffuse the light. So you have this strong, steady light coming in, diffuses it so it's not too harsh and direct to my face where it will look like a spotlight, right? We don't want that. You want it to fill in like sunlight. So you will have this nice image that you see right now. The video is right here. The light is positioned slightly 45 degrees top here. So it kind of goes down and creates a little bit of shadow here. So it makes me look a bit 3D. So you can see the separation between me, the foreground, and the background. Don't get the ring light. Those are really cheap and they're too harsh on your face. And I don't know, I just couldn't take you seriously. You look like you're about to start twerking or something, you know? So this thing is damn near faultless. The only problem is that this thing is pretty big. So generally the bigger the umbrella, the nicer the lighting is going to be. But I'm shooting in my bedroom and I'm pretty sure you have limited space as well. And it's pretty big. So I'm going to show you, this is where I shoot my videos. Just right next to it is my bed, right? So I sleep there and this is my view when I'm sleeping. So I don't know, man. I think for some people this is unacceptable, but for me, I just kind of got used to it. Okay, so now you have all the gear out of the way. The next thing to do is to set up the backdrop. All right, YouTube backdrop. What does that mean? You're going to be filming yourself. You are the subject, like how I am right now, but you also need something at the back. The backdrop needs to be a balance between something that is cohesive with your branding, so it shows your personality, has some branding colors back there, but at the same time, it can't be too busy. It can't be too interesting that it distracts the viewer's attention away from you, the subject. And I've changed several of my backdrop along my career. So I'll just share with you what I've learned, okay? So first, you will be shooting inside your bedroom or small office, just like how I am right now. So chances are it's going to be a rather small room, limited space. And if this is your bedroom, chances are you're going to have your bed frame back here somewhere. If you move this camera ever so slightly to the right, you can see my bed already. Obviously, I don't want this in my video because it will look very unprofessional. So I just turn it all the way right there. So I'm still in the middle. That is the edge of the room. So I'm diagonally at the corner of my room. It's the furthest point away. So it's enough space for the camera to have some sort of blurry background. This side is the window. Right now, I'm recording this at nighttime, so I've closed the blinds. So during the daytime, you can see really nice views from the window. So that's nice. Got the books over there. Down there, if you can see, there's a motorcycle helmet. So gives me a little bit of personality. Oh, this guy rides a motorcycle. And lastly, some sort of lighting fixture. This is a cheap IKEA light stand. I bought this smart LED light bulb that I can change the lighting color. Check this out. So I go to the Home app and I can change the color from my iPhone remote. Green, blue, purple, not so purple, red. This is the regular warm light. This is a bit of setting the mood, teal, and turn off. Pretty cool, right? So that adds a little bit of personality and unique branding to my video. So when people see this, oh, this is Helmi's video. So you can think of something that works for you. For decor, whatever you put back there, I don't think you should spend any money. Just walk around your home, grab random stuff around your house. Remember, you need to be tasteful with your backdrop. Generally, the simpler the better. Okay, so now you've produced your videos. So the next step is, how do you edit the videos? So I started editing using this software called DaVinci Resolve. It's a free video editing software. There's tons of tutorial online to solve the thing that you want to do. You can really unleash your full creativity. It's kind of like Photoshop. If you're more on the creative side, if you do travel vlogs where your viewers want something pretty, then you should use DaVinci Resolve because you need to unleash that creativity. But for normal people like you and me, where most of our videos are like this type of talking head, we don't have to be super creative, right? In that case, I recommend this other new software. It's called Descript. It's a newish video editing software that uses a lot of AI technology to help cut down your mundane video editing task by up to 80% for my workflow compared to the traditional DaVinci Resolve software. So I recommend Descript because one, it can get rid of all the ums and ahs and all the gaps in between you not speaking with one click. Two, you can edit your timeline based on the words, whatever you want to cut instead of the wavelength. So that makes it a lot faster to figure out what you want to delete. Three, you can remove backgrounds very easily with one click. Four, you can repurpose any footage like this one right here. This is a horizontal long form and you can clip it into short form vertical videos for TikTok, IG, and all that kind of stuff. So Descript has saved me tons of hours editing videos for my own channel and also for my clients' channel. It has now become my main editing software and it's something that I recommend you to do as well. That being said, it's not perfect. It's limited in terms of the creativity that you want to do. But again, for the type of talking head video, I think it's fine. I'm also paying $12 a month for this software to get the lowest paid membership. And with that, there's limited stock media footage that I can use. So if I want to access more stock footage, I have to pay the more expensive tier, which I don't want to do at this point. And three, if you have a client who wants, oh, I like the Iman Ghazi style of video, we have a lot of animation, you can't do that on Descript. Even with all those cons, I still think that the pros outweigh the cons for Descript, and I 100% recommend beginners to use it. Give it a shot. Woo! That's a long video. So I've shared everything you need to know to get started as a beginner and also behind the scenes of what I use as someone who's running 2 YouTube channels and also doing YouTube agencies for other clients. So these recommendations can help you get started with your YouTube journey without spending money on stupidly expensive gear that you're not even going to use. However, despite having all these gears, it will not guarantee your YouTube success. What truly matters though is the video idea and the messaging that you're delivering within your video. And if you want to know how to do that, watch this video right here to learn how to do it.